so it's my privilege, honestly, to be here, and we're completely honored by the fact that we're being recognized by i4cp. I want to start off with just 3 introductory comments before I get into the other 9 minutes of what I have to say. First and foremost, what I'm going to share with you is one of the essential elements that we're using to be a much more customer-centered organization. And we talked earlier about companies that are transforming. I think you need to appreciate that we are a company that was born and raised in 1792. So we have been through a lot of transformations, and several years ago we embraced a customer-centric approach to the way we do things in order to now be even more successful in the future. So you'll hear a little bit about that in a minute. Secondly, I want to thank any and all of you out there that are Cigna customers. Without you, we could not do what we do. And so we believe, there's 3 of us here today, Prashant Bhatt, Rosanna Daruthi, and myself. We could not be more proud of the mission that we have, which is to help you improve your sense of well-being, security, and health. And so we take it very seriously. If you want or need to share suggestions, feedback, ideas, anything over the course of the next couple of days, please seek one of us out. We'd love to hear from you. And lastly, we have been a high-performing, high-growth company for many years. Last year, we were the proud winners of i4cp's high-performing organization. And we do that really in 2 ways. One is by co-creating and partnering with our customers on what we do. And that enables us to take all of your thoughts and needs and desires into consideration. And secondly, without the ongoing commitment to excellent service delivery, it would not happen. Our employees mean the world to us. And so I just want to put all that out on the stage here before I go ahead and give you the details of our program. Luckily, by the way, this says forward and back, or I would be a completely lost individual up here. So here we go. What I'm going to share with you today is something known as developing emotional connections. And so developing emotional connections to us is at the heart of how it is we are going to make sure that we not only can win in the marketplace, but more importantly, it's how we can make sure we can deliver to our customers that mission that we have committed to and that experience that they so need and depend on us for. So I want you to close your eyes. I'm not going to have you close them for a long time, but even just close them for 10 or 15 seconds. And I just want you to think about the last time you had a healthcare experience that was particularly positive. Like, what is it that really made it stand out? What was it that made it memorable? What was it that really resonated with you? And to this day, even though you hopefully do not still have the illness, you likely still have that memory. And then I'd ask you to open your eyes and think about the way that experience made you feel. And what most people tell us is the way that experience made them feel was cared for, and it made them feel that the person working with them and delivering on their behalf was delivering with empathy. And so that really is at the heart of what we undertook with this initiative that I'm going to give you a few details on. And most importantly, we want people to feel that it is a situation where we are together all the way. That is our promise to our customers, and that is what we strive for. And so this program was at the heart of that. And specifically, that promise is hinged on a paradigm shift, and the paradigm shift is we are no longer going to simply deliver healthcare for the sake of delivering healthcare. We are going to provide healthcare and service that is all about caring for an individual and their personalized needs. And so the personalized needs are what you see up here, right? And we've heard this directly from our customers and our clients. They want a partnership. They want to feel as if we are in this with them, that we're together in whatever is going on. They want to feel a connection, an emotional connection, right? They want to feel a relationship. They don't just want to feel as if we're transacting on their behalf, which is unfortunately the way a lot of people feel when they're interacting with any company, let alone a healthcare company. They want recognition of their uniqueness, hugely powerful. People like to feel it's about them, right? And then lastly, again, you can never use the word when you're talking about care in any context, but most importantly within a health context, the word empathy is one that when you talk to people you just hear it over and over again. It is really at the core of what they're expecting and needing. So here's what I would say is the challenge for all of us who do what we do. This is the slide of all of our challenges, right? Now, most of you out here can name all of them related to healthcare equal to or better than I can, because you read about it in the paper every day. We can't get caught up in the swirl of this. You really just can't. Our job is to step above this, right? Step above this and figure out what is it that we're supposed to do and what we need to do on behalf of the customer and for that care that we've committed to. So we're trying to make sure that we are that step above. And so here, I think what is so powerful here is we've heard from the customer related to number one, it is about the soul of the patient. Now that, I mean, whenever you use the word soul in anything that you're doing on a daily basis, I don't know that it could be more profound or that you could elicit more passion from people than when you use that word. But it really is, to the customer, it's about the soul of who they are and what it is they have to have from that interaction and that experience. And it's also about the connection, as you can see, between emotions and customer loyalty. Very few people talk about emotions at work. Very few people, even less number of people, actually talk about the way you connect emotion to that customer experience and that customer loyalty. And that's exactly what we've done with this program, and I'll give you a little bit of that in a minute. So any of you out there that are wondering what exactly did they do, here you go, it's up on the screen there. It basically is predicated on two primary assumptions. One is what is known as the AGES model. For any of you who haven't heard it, it's a relatively famous learning model that was first put together by Dr. David Rock and the Neuro Leadership Institute. And it basically says that the time between anything that you learn is ultimately critical in order to have the absolute highest levels of retention. So this is predicated on the AGES model, on that spaced learning. And then secondly, it's predicated on high manager support. And so we've proven at Cigna that managers who provide a high amount of support before, during, and after any experience where people are trying to develop will outperform those that have not had high manager support by 3 times. So the retention of the learning is better because of the AGES model, and then the application of the learning to better performance is, of course, ever better because of that manager support. And so you can see they learn, they reflect, they work with their supervisor, their manager, and then they go back and apply on the job. And that's a cycle that they work on through a set of modules and a set of activities. And some of my colleagues in the room, I know for a fact, cannot read this slide because I've already heard they're having, like that 40-year-old eye thing that goes on, which I've already had, as you can tell. So as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you one brief personal story. I got up this morning. In my briefcase, I have a lot of contact lenses because my eye doctor has given me a lot of contact lenses. I said, I don't always want to have to wear these glasses. So he gave me the contact lenses. No exaggeration, for 3 straight days, I have spent 30 minutes in the mirror trying to put those contact lenses in. As you can see, I have never been successful. So I met a woman at breakfast, and she said to me, oh my God, I've been wearing them for 6 years. I was like, yes. So for any of you that think this conference is only about next practices for work, got personal issues here as well you can resolve. So up on the program topic slide, you can see number 1 module is all about emotions, right? How to get people in touch with not only the emotions of the customer, but the emotions of themselves, right? How to take those into consideration in what they do and how they do it. Number 2, empathy. It's all around how do you understand it, how do you detect it, how do you work with it. Number 3, absolutely about what triggers the employee in a difficult situation to deliver with empathy or not. Right? And that's a hard thing to do. So for those of you who think, oh, how hard is that? It's easier said than done. It's particularly easy when you're sitting in maybe a conference room and you're in just a meeting kind of situation. When you're on the phone with an angry person who's got cancer, who has just been told they may die in 6 weeks, trying to control your own triggers and empathetically deal with that individual is an incredibly difficult thing to do. And for a frontline call center employee, they're given way too little credit for that excellent performance. So that's what Module 3 is all about. And then Module 4 is bringing it back to the customer. How do you take everything that you've learned and really work in customer interactions to apply that in ways that will make a really significant difference? So in terms of the results, to date, we've provided this initiative to 800 people. We have about 1,500 that we'll work with this year. The Net Promoter Score on the program, which means if you ask a person how likely are they to recommend that program or that initiative to their colleague, they would answer on a scale of 0 to 10 in the 9 and 10 range. 56% of the people have indicated a Net Promoter Score of 9 or 10, which these days, to get anybody to sit and pay attention to anything, especially things that involve a lot of reflection and supervisory support, it's incredibly hard to do, let alone have almost 60% of them say that they would recommend it, and that's still in the relatively early days. So we're incredibly proud of that. And then lastly, for those of you that track Net Promoter Score for your business, that means your customers would say disproportionately that they would promote your products and services to one of their friends or relatives. We have currently a 7 to 10 point increase. If you take a control group of people that have not been involved in this versus those that have, at a transactional level. So each and every call, they are experiencing between 7 and 10-point improvement in Net Promoter Score, which is really, really awesome. It's very difficult to do that. And then I just want to wrap up by basically letting you know that the customer impact is what you see up here. And when we ask our customers at that transactional level, not only to give us a Net Promoter Score, but to talk to us about, what is your feedback? And this is what we're hearing. And these align to what you might have noticed on one of the other slides is Scott Bedbury's 5 human traits for really connecting and shifting a focus from that of a transaction to a meaningful, purpose-filled engagement and an interaction. So things like feeling special, you want that personalized, recognized, unique experience. The have my back, that is incredibly important in healthcare. People don't want to feel when they're in a moment of really significant need that they're by themselves, right? And so you see that these 5 traits are really what now we've heard is the impact of the ability of this program. And then I just wanted to sum it all up by letting you know that we're not done. Nobody's ever done a course in this world, but we're definitely not done. And so these are some of the things that we're focusing on now. We're expanding the offering beyond our core health service employees. We're putting it out. We also do short-term and long-term disability. We do a whole host of experiences around health service that we work with customers and clients on. So we're going to be expanding the program into those. We're continuing to enhance the personalized aspects of this, not only personalized to the individual that's being trained, but also to the customer that is the target of those ongoing interactions. And then lastly, what we call accelerate localization. And so our entire strategy at Cigna right now is very much anchored in personalization and localization. And localization means that wherever you are in the world, you likely have unique needs to others. It's not just you and your personalized needs, it's also a localized situation that is likely also different. And so we're trying to make sure that we can respect that and build that into all we do as well. And we really do see developing emotional connections as a key differentiator for us as a company, but most importantly, we really do see it as the way to the best possible care for our customers, which is why we're here every day. Thank you.